gave me the world. My goal was to be a professional baseball player, and my parents made it possible for me to get that. I had my education, had great teachers, but I started messing up, like I said, when I was sitting right there where you are today. My first mistake was I didn't practice safe sex while I was in there. So my first mistake was get a girl pregnant. So there goes my baseball career. I kissed it goodbye. Because now I had to take care of a young pregnant girl, and I had to go to school myself. So after school I would go and had a little part-time, I think it was at Bradley's as a matter of fact. And that's what I did. So after that, I went to a year of college after I graduated high school. But it was too much, it was overwhelming for me because I had to go to school in the morning. I was going to college in the morning. And after that, I had a second shift job. So I would go to school from 3:30 to 11:30. I was working, had no time for myself, had no time for anything. I didn't even have time for a pregnant girlfriend. In those months that conspired, she actually had a miscarriage. And that's when I started going downhill. I quit college. I started working. After work, I started hanging on the block. Never drank, never smoked weed, didn't smoke cigarettes, nothing. Guess what I started doing? Started smoking weed. I started drinking every day. The guys that were my friends, I started hanging with the wrong crowd. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and blame them for what I did. Because at the end of the day, it was my decision to do what I did. So I started hustling with them. Because that's what we did. We drank, we smoked, and we hustled on the block. So I quit my job. And I started hustling on the block, making money. Soon after that, the older guys from the block, they started the Latin Gangster Disciples. So since we're always together, what was there to lose? That's what I thought. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys heard the old cliche. If I would have known now what I knew then I wouldn't be here right now talking to you guys. But I changed. I was out of character. I was never a troublemaker. I joined the gang. I started getting myself into trouble. I was never, like I said, I was never a troublemaker. If anything, I was for peace. One thing led to another. So now we started hustling. I'm in a gang. I get stabbed at a party by guys that we thought were our friends. So that started a war between the north side of Lawrence and the south side of Lawrence. And that's when we started gangbanging hard. In the midst of all that, we got arrested by the Federal Bureau of Investigations. 14 of us went down. And you know who brought us down? One of our brothers. He set us up. He wore wires on us. And he told the feds what we were doing. Back then, would I want to put a bullet in him? Maybe, because of what he did. Now, I figure, you know what? Every Jesus needs a Judas. Because if it wasn't for him, I'd probably be dead or I'd be doing life in jail. As I said earlier, I was never a troublemaker, so I didn't have a record. But the feds gave me 11 years. I sat in that cell, and I'll be honest with you guys, they put us in the hole, and I cried. There's this big gangster. You can go shoot somebody and do whatever, us around the block, and you think you're all manly. But here's this gangster crying in the cell because he just got 11 years away from his family. I destroyed my family. My father went into alcoholism. My mother went into depression. My brothers would run in the streets, renegade, because their older brother decided to be a knucklehead. And instead of me being a positive role model to them, I did the complete opposite. They sent me to Pennsylvania, where I only see my mother 2 times in a year. She used to go see me every 6 months, because she had to take time out from her job. It put a toll on her. Like I said, she got depressed. And what I did was, when I was in there, I promised that I would do what's right when I came home. And I still, to this day, have the newspaper article that when I got arrested, I spoke to Mrs. Nancy Gertner. Because before you get arrested, before you get sentenced, the feds ask you, like the judge will ask you, do you have something to say? And I said, yes, I do, Your Honor. The first thing I want to say is I want to apologize to my mother, my father, and to my family and friends, because I didn't mean to do this to you guys. But I do have a problem with the law enforcement back there high-fiving each other like this is a game. Because if you guys considered us the most dangerous gang in Massachusetts, what were you guys waiting for? For us to kill somebody? To take somebody's son, or daughter, or kid? Because bullets don't have names. And once you start shooting, there's nothing that's going to stop that bullet, unless it's you. Another thing that I got from it was like, you guys are shooting each other over colors, over values and beliefs, which in all reality, they're all the same thing. They just worded differently. That's all it is. I went to jail, and our biggest gang, our biggest rivals, the Lion Kings and all the rest of them, they actually were friends. They were actually cool with me. So I'm sitting there like, oh, man, I was an idiot. I'm ignorant. I just threw away 10 years of my life because I wanted to be Mr. Gangbanger, Mr. Black and Blue. And what did I get from it? Nothing. And that's why I'm here to tell you guys today. Trust me, fellas. There is nothing that you can get positive out of being in a gang. And even women now too, because now women want to start joining gangs. But there is nothing positive. The only one thing that I learned from being in a gang that has stuck with me is called the 5 Ps, which is proper preparation prevents poor performance. And if you interpret it, if you practice what you got to do, well, then you know what? You'll perform to the highest of your ability because you practice for it. And that's what you guys are here for today. These right here, whether you guys realize it, these are going to be the toughest times of your life, whether you realize it or not, because it's going to determine who you're going to be in the future. Remember, once you turn 18, mom's going to kick you out the house. You're going to have to do it on your own. So if you get yourself an education, if you guys play sports, get yourself a trade. Remember that the devil's always lurking. And if you're not doing anything with your mind, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to try to get you guys. And I talk to you guys from the bottom of my heart because I lived it and I know what it is. Today, I live comfortable. I take time out from my job, and that's another thing. I work in construction. And this past winter was terrible, and I was working outside, and the first thing that came to mind was, if I would have stayed in school, I'd be in an office nice and warm, having a secretary bring me coffee. You know what I mean? Don't take life for granted, guys. There's so many opportunities for you guys. Don't just, there's a plan A, there's a plan B, there's a plan C, but there's a lot of more letters in the alphabet. So if one don't work for you, you guys can keep working towards what does work for you. I read somewhere, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So if you have a goal in mind, but you're not trying to practice what you want to do, then you know what? You're just wishing on a prayer. That's all you're doing. We're here to motivate you guys. We're here to inspire you guys. Whatever we tell you guys, do not idolize or don't, like I said, we're here to encourage you guys to do better because we messed up our lives. I'm going to tell you a quick story about this guy. He was a guru. There was this guy that he met him at a party. And he seen the guru, and the guru had a lot of money. And he's like, hey, you're the guru, right? He said, yeah. He said, Man, I want to have money like you. I want to be just like you, have everything. He said, oh, do you? All right, meet me at the beach at 4:30 in the morning. So the guy met him at the beach at 4:30 in the morning. Goes out to the beach. He said, well, what do you want me to do, Mr. Guru? He said, jump in the water. All right, I want money. Jumped in the water. Is this good? Nah, keep going. Whatever, because I want money. He keeps going. Keep going until he's chin deep in the water. So now the guru goes over to the water and grabs him by the head and puts his head under. When he puts his head under, the guy's like, you know, he's trying to breathe or whatever. So when the guru let him go, and he goes, what was the first thing on your mind? And he said, I was just trying to breathe. He said, when you want to be successful, as much as you want to breathe, you will achieve anything in life. That's my time, guys.